most of these is about respect. They feel disrespected and they got their gun in their hand. Two guys was arguing. One was on one side and the other was across the street, and they was arguing. So when I walked by, the guy was getting ready to shoot him. He went in his pants and get ready to pull a gun up. And one of the guys next to him said, "Hey man, don't do that. That's Hicks' mom." They're like, "Who?" "Detective Hicks' mom." So the guy put his gun back in his pocket, in his pants. And I'm like, "Thank you." I said, "Cause I was going to tell." He said, he looked at me and I started laughing. I said, "Look, I was going to get on that phone and call 911. Hey, he just shot somebody." And I said, "But what you don't think is, it's like 20 people standing around you. Somebody in that group gonna tell." I say, it didn't, it don't make no sense to do that. And I said, "Thank you for not shooting, because I was gonna tell. I'm telling you right now, I was gonna tell it." So when we walked past, we did what we had to do. On the way back, the guy was still standing there. He said, "I'm sorry, ma'am." I said, "Come here, let me talk to you." So I'll say, that was crazy, right?" He said, "Yeah, he just made me mad." But to make you that mad to want to take his life, I asked him, "You got a baby mom, you got kids?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "You know that while you in jail, your friend gonna be your new baby daddy, right? You gonna get with your girl." He's like, "I don't think so." I said, "You got your mother still alive?" "Yeah." I said, "You gonna break your mother's heart. Do you have 20 years to give for something that simple?" He said, "Yeah, but I was like, but think about it. What gives you the right to be judge, jury, and executioner of that man's life?" I said, "It's not worth it. Do you think you taking his life gonna make you any better?" He's like, "No, I was just so mad." I said, "Sometimes it's best to walk away." I said, and he was like, "Thank you." And I walked away, then I turned around, came back, and I gave him a hug. I'm like, "Thank you for not doing that, because I don't want to see that." He said, "No, ma'am, thank you, because I wasn't thinking." I said, "I appreciate you." But just the fact that just that fast, he could have took that young man's life. Or it could have been the other way around. That guy could have had a gun and shoot over there and kill more than one people. You just got to be out there thinking, and then, being respectful. He didn't have to do that, but the other guy told him, he know me, which he did, and I'm just like, thank you for not doing that, because I don't want to have to go home and think about what I just seen, be on my conscience. I probably couldn't sleep that night, but just being thankful that I could talk to him and make him think. And that's what we do with youth at the Take Center or anywhere else. Try to open their eyes to think before you do things.
You probably saved somebody's life.
Oh, yeah.